Nothing more, nothing less. So let's say I put the personal web page and proposal on week 7. But if you want to submit earlier, then it's fine, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Fair?
Fair, fair.
Fair
All
enough.
right. Suppose hey, hold on. That week 7 is also meant for tests as well, isn't it? Supposedly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah? So is everyone okay with this?
I'm okay with it.
Test is something that cannot be decided on myself. I have to wait for the cue from the resource person. But all the other proposals and the personal web page can be arranged accordingly. So let's just say that we set the due date for week 7, but I would advise you to submit as early as possible. Is that all right?
Okay, sir.
It's
Okay.
alright.
Yeah. I would advise you to submit as early as possible. Now, test is set for week number 7. Presentation. Now we have presentation for group project, web application. Now we have presentation for mobile application. We also have submission for the report. Okay. Now, as far as the report goes, we can only wait until the end of the semester, which is the very last day of this semester. All right? Which is, when is that? Before the study break. Before the study break, that will be on the 29th of January, yeah? Report 29th of January. Presentation 29th or 28th of January. Class? Presentation.
Maybe 28.
If you were to do it on the 28th, we'll do it in the afternoon. If you were to do it on the 29th, we'll do it in the morning. 8 o'clock.
I think on 28, sir.
28, 28.
28?
Yeah, 28.
Okay. So 28th of January. That sort out everything. So we have first assessment, second assessment, third, and fourth. Right. There you go. I am going to put everything in Google Calendar. Yeah. So you can always try to refer to this. Let me try to repeat. Submission for proposal, personal web page, and test are scheduled on week number 7. But of course, you can always submit early. In fact, you are advised to submit early. Presentation is set on the 28th of January. And report submission is on the 29th of January. Okay?
Okay, sir.
But nevertheless, this week we are going to have a look at HTML, introduction to HTML. Of course, this is going to be easy and straightforward, only that it can be confusing sometimes. Even personally, I don't quite fancy HTML and CSS because I am not very good, I'm not very creative in terms of arts and how to display that nicely. But nevertheless, of course, some of students may be interested in UI design, right? HTML basically stands for Hypertext Markup Language. An HTML file is actually a text file containing small markup text. So it's just a simple text file. Yeah, only a simple text file. The markup text tell the web browser how to display the page. An HTML file must have an HTML or HTML file extension. So this is for the standard HTML file, yeah, either .html or .htm. An extension file can be created using simple text editor, for example, Notepad. Although I strongly believe and suggest you, instead of using Notepad, you can either use Notepad++ or Visual Studio Code. Yeah, either one of those will be a lot better as opposed to Notepad alone. Yeah. Personally, I do not recommend you to use Notepad because of so many drawbacks, basically. Now, this is an example of an HTML file. We have tags. What are the tags? So we can see here, we have one tag here. That is the opening tag, and this is the closing tag. My. We have yet another. Eh? My. Well, it's still right. Never mind. We have, can we enlarge it? This is size. Now we have HTML. Oh, that is too big. Okay. Uh, right. I need to take this call. Sorry, guys. That was an important call. That's why I had to take it. So, as I was saying, HTML contain tags, and this is an example of HTML tag. So, this is the opening tag, and this is the closing tag. If you notice, they are almost the same except for the closing tag has a leading forward slash. Similarly, we have, let's change the color, red, blue, and green. So if you look here, yeah, there are three main components in HTML. Of course, the first one, the topmost, is HTML. Inside HTML, there are two parts. One is the head and the other is the body. What do you put in the head? The head can contain title, for example. Yeah. Perhaps you want to include your CSS. That will be in the head. Inside your body is where you put all your contents. All right. Inside the body is where you put your contents. Next is, how does that translate to the other one? Yeah. How does here we have everything in Notepad transfer to your browser? Well, basically, this is a text file containing tags, yeah, HTML tags. And the browser has the ability to translate, yeah, and display this appropriately. This is done by the browser. And having said that, we can safely say that this is client side, well, scripting sort of, yeah, client side, because everything is done on the client. Without needing a server, you can still compose your website and display that correctly in your browser. All right. Now, if you're dealing with Notepad, be extra careful because not generally it will save the file as .txt. Sometimes you may save your file as, for example, hello. Oh, let me change the color again to something, or perhaps something even more visible. Increase the transparency. Something like, for example, home .html .txt, and this will eventually not render correctly in your browser. Yeah, be extra careful when you save your file. But if you were to use Notepad++ or Visual C++, Visual Studio Code, then this will not be an issue. So when you save the file, it should look something like this. And when you double click on it, it will launch the browser, any default browser that you may have, and display your page. HTML documents are text files made up of HTML elements. HTML elements are identified or defined using HTML tags. The tags are surrounded by angle brackets, the less than and greater than. HTML text usually come in pairs like P for paragraph with a closing P, with a leading, in this case, with a leading forward slash. Leading forward slash here. Yeah, it's got a leading forward slash. You will write the element contents between the two texts, and the texts are not case sensitive. Yeah, not case sensitive. Then P will be treated equally as capital P. Any question? The highest hierarchy is HTML. HTML text has a few child texts, such as head and body. Now, basically, from my experience, these are the only children of HTML. Text, HTML head and body. Child text must be placed inside the parent tag. As you can see, HTML head. Body text can contain most of the other text, such as H1, table, P, and many more. Yeah, H1 is for header. Table, paragraph. And many more. Inside title, you can write any text as a title of homepage. When you put title here, where will it occur? Where will it display? It will be displayed right here. Okay, this is the title. The purpose of the body tag is to define the HTML element that contains the body of the HTML document. So body, we can pass a few parameters to body. For example, BG color. It's not nice, isn't it? Change the color to something else. It looks more appealing. Yeah, BG color. And we have color name. Default color is white. Of course, if you look at what is it? HTML color names. So you can have plenty of color names. Alice blue, for example. Antique white. Azure. Black. Blue violet. These are the names that you can use, yeah? Crimson. Dark cyan. Dark gray. Dark orchid. Dark magenta. No. Well, you can use any of these names anyway. So besides BG color, you can also include background. And this background can also be an image. Yeah, can also be an image. Now, generally, images that can be rendered by a browser are these common file names: .gif, .png, and .jpg. Although nowadays .svg can also be included as well. But to be safe, best to use either .gif, png, or jpg. The image must be located in the same location as the HTML file or anywhere else, as long as it has a direct connection to the file. Yeah, depending on the location, then you have to put the appropriate address to the file. So in this example, we have hello, and we also have cat within the same folder, which is the desktop. Then of course, it can be rendered correctly. Body background equal cat.jpg. Since cat is small, yeah, the file size is small, it will be repeated many times. Yeah, it will be repeated many times to fill in the window size. Background cat background.gif. A large email will fit nicely onto the browser window size. Of course, this is fine. Headings, we have H1 through H6. H1 is the largest. H1 being the largest. And H6 being the smallest. Paragraph, why do you need paragraph? To make your page look better. Yeah, to make your page look better. So in a paragraph, you would include that. Now, before we proceed, Situna Shahira, can you please sign in using your UITM profile, please?
Okay, sir.
And also try to register into the classroom using that profile as well. I'll give you the link later. So try to come in using your UITM profile, and I'll give you a link to register again. All right?
Okay, sir.
Sir, I want to ask.
Go ahead.
The background picture can be adjusted. Sir.
What do you mean?
The size of image.
Yes, you can.
The head and width.
Yes, you can. You can. To be frank, these days we do not include background image anymore. Yeah, to be frank, these days we do not include background image anymore. We make it plain, then we put something else on top of that, in which we'll cover in CSS in chapter 4.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
But still, to answer your question, we can resize the image accordingly, although not that many people want to do it. Yeah. If the picture is too big, then it will take some time for it to load. If the picture is too small and you want to stretch it, then it won't look nice. That's why it's no longer being used. It's no longer being in practice. Line break, of course, we simply put BR for break. And this is the comment in HTML. This is the comment in HTML. That's the opening comment. That's the closing comment. And this can be multi-lines as well. Yeah, this can be multi-lines as well. Yeah, this is what I was telling you about earlier. H1 being the largest, H6 being the smallest. And this is a normal text. Yeah, this is a normal text. Imagine the normal text is even bigger than the H6. So depending on how you want to set it up, but by default, this is how it will look like. Pre is to preserve the appearance of information. For example, we put something like this, and it will use the default font. And despite having the spaces here in between, it will maintain and preserve that space as well. Excuse me. A block quote is like this. This is a block quote. What is a block quote basically? You want to create a block that you want to put quotation in. So you may want to indent it a bit to the left and make it like a separate block. That what makes it a block quote. Yeah, you can do that. Although nowadays, again, not that many people use block quote. Instead, they would use padding. Yeah, nowadays people use padding. But then again, it's here for you to use. To make a horizontal line, you simply put HR, and HR can also accommodate a few parameters. You can put size, you can put the width, you can put the align. So depending on how you want to set it up, you can use this as a guide to create your horizontal line. B for bold. Yeah, B for bold. I for italic, strong. Strong is basically almost equal to bold. They are almost the same. Sub is for subscript. Sup is for superscript. For example, log base 2 or 10 to the power of 3. So we are talking about that for the subscript, for the superscript, in which we'll cover in a bit. There you go. HTML, we have, inside HTML, we have the head component or head element. Inside the head, we put the title. And this title will be displayed in up here on the tab. Now, next part is the body. The body is quite long. There you go. That's for the body. Let me try to drag this all the way through. Yes, there you go. Now, the body, we have paragraph. We have, first we have the standard one. This is the standard one, the default. Then we put a paragraph, align right. Inside the paragraph, we have bold. My target is to succeed. Notice the font is in bold. Now we finish the paragraph. Next, we put the italic. Italic will italicize the text. Yeah, italic will italicize the text. Then we put horizontal line, which is here. This is the HR, horizontal line. Then I learned this in science class, H sub 2. There is 2 for the subscript. Only 2 will be included as subscript because we have the closing tag for subscript. So 2 will be moved slightly below that, than the rest of the line. Similarly, I learned this in mathematics class. 2 sup Well, superscript. This is a superscript. Changing the font, you can use the font. Yeah, changing the font, you can use the font element. Here, font face Arial, color blue, size 5. That's what you will get. Yeah, color blue, font face is Arial, size is 5. And you have to experiment with the size of your text. Arial, Verdana size 1. I am Verdana in size 1. I am Arial in size 4. Notice we put the color red here. Hence, the color is red. And font face, Lucida handwriting. All right. Lucida handwriting. Image source. Now, here, image.gif, image source, image.gif. This would expect that image.gif will be in the same folder. So we have HTML and image.gif. To be in the same folder. Next, then only you can display. Now, Imran, this is where you can change the what is it? The
size of image.
not to say the size, but something else. I forgot. What's the word for that? Well, these are the parameters that you can do with image. Source is fine, yeah, width and height. The alt will give you this. The alt will give you this. Back to home. When you hover your mouse over that, it will display something. Again, here is another example. We have head, title, inside the title. So my first homepage, if you notice here, is put it up here. My first homepage. Now, that's finished with the head. Moving on to the body. We have background color yellow. Of course, you can see everything is in yellow. H1 hello 1. H1 hello. This is the size of H1. Yeah, this is the size of H1. Notice here we close the H1. Now, this is a normal default text. Welcome to my homepage. Break is to bring to the next line. Image source cat.jpg, and we display image. Close the body and close HTML. Any question?
Sir, I think subscript and superscript is kind of useful in a mathematical equation.
Come again?
The subscript and the superscript is kind of useful in mathematic equation.
Depending on the situation, but only for certain areas. Only for certain areas. But otherwise, you won't be using subscript and superscript anyway. Yeah, when you think about it, those are the kind of questions that they will ask because it's not something you would normally do. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? It's true, isn't it? They will ask questions that you won't normally use. But otherwise, of course, you should know. Now, this is how you want to put the FB logo. Confirm. Test will be conducted in week 7 after the break. if you want to put the image on the right, so you align the image to the right. By default, it will be on the left. You do not have to specify the align. But if you want to move it to the right, then you specify to align the image to the right. That's done for this. But we also have another one. Just a bit more. So now we're familiar with quite a number of elements. We have, what have we learned? We learn about paragraph, we learn about image, we learn about font, we learn about quite a number, yeah? Now, still on the HTML elements that we can use in our HTML page. Now, we are going to have a look at the anchor. We're going to have a look at the anchor. Anchor is preceded with, there you go, and close with that closing anchor. What's the purpose of anchor? Anchor is, it's like an anchor. Basically, it allows you to click on the text within it. It will take you somewhere else to this particular URL. All right, anchor, when you click on the link, it will take you to the particular URL that you specify. The A tag is used to create an anchor to link from. The href attribute is used to address the document to link to, and the words between the open and close of the anchor tag will be displayed as the hyperlink. This anchor defines a link to a website. For example, in this case, www.google.com. This anchor defines a link to a document. And of course, not only that, instead of using link, you can also exchange that for an image. Yeah, you can also use an image. So ahref, so instead of typing the text, we can put in the image. It is also possible. So in this case, of course, it will display this image, and when we click on the image, it will take you to the link. Now, the target attribute. Target underscore blank. With the target attribute, you can define where the link document will be open. And the line below will open document in a new browser window or a new tab. Well, basically nowadays, it's always a new tab for browser with tab browsing. All the browsers nowadays are tab browsing, allows for tab browsing. So if you want to open in a new tab, you specify target equal underscore blank. And the preceding underscore is mandatory. Section. Okay, if the text is long, if the text is long, you can specify section, and this particular section is still used up till today. Yeah, especially nowadays when we are dealing with a single page loading. So section is definitely a must. We specify the section name. We specify the section name, and we create a link to go directly to that particular section. All right, A name equals section 1. Shrek 2. Where is Shrek 2? There you go. That. And how do we link that? Up here. Up here, we specify ahref section 1 Shrek 2. When we click on Shrek 2, it will go directly to Shrek 2. It will what is it? It will scroll to that particular section. Of course, if the text is 9. Otherwise, that's what you will get to see anyway. All right? A section name, display title here, a name, section name. That's how you do that. Of course, in between here, you can have many other things. When you click here, it will scroll for you automatically to this particular section and let you read. It's fairly easy. Yeah, this is fairly easy. There are two types of list tag. It's called the unordered list and ordered list. Only two types of list. Unordered list is defined by these tags. U for unordered, L for list. All right, unordered list. The contents inside must be enclosed within LI, which is list item. Unordered list, UL, LI. If you were to do the ordered list, again, OL, LI. The unordered list has the following format. Disk, UL type, disk. That's what you get. Square, that's what you get. Circle, that's what you get. All right, by default. Of course, you have to specify. Now, what is the default then? Does anyone know? What is the default? The first one is the default. If you did not specify any type here in UL, by default it will put the disk. Here you go. This is an example. Yeah, this is an example. UL without any type specified, it will display a disk. Now you can also combine the types. So in this page, in this page, what you can see is that even if you did not specify any type, UL, no type. UL again, no type. UL again, no type. It will be shifted and changed accordingly. First is, of course, the default, which is the disk. Next is the circle. And finally, we have square. Yeah? Question? No.
No, sir.
Move along. The ordered list. Ordered list works exactly like the unordered list. This is the ordered list. And we have list item. But there are more types to it. What is the default?
Capital A.
Come again?
Capital A.
Capital A. So when you say about ordered list, in order, generally the default is 1, 2, 3. Okay? Of course, ordered list.
Sir.
Yeah, ordered list. Ordered list is always numerical. But if you want to change that, then of course you can do that by using the type switch. Example. There you go. Nothing specified. That's what you get. 1, 2, 3. But if you want to change the type to A, everything else will be continued with capital A. I is for Romanized. Everything will be in Roman character. Easy? Yeah?
Yes,
Easy.
sir.
Clear, sir.
So I think we'll wait for tomorrow to continue with the table. Yeah, we'll wait for tomorrow to continue with the table. And what else? Oh, the attributes and stuff. Email forms. So, have you any question?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Sir.
Sufina Shahira, would you like to try to log in using your ITM profile?
Oh, you want saya test sekarang ke?
It will be better off. At least you know how to do it.
Ya?
It will be better off. At least you know how to do it.
Okay.
How about if you try it now?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Like saya balik college.
Mhm.
So just in case is I have any problem with my PC, can I like reserve lab for future use?
I think you can.
But when I talk to my lecturer supervisor, they say that if like this on this subject time.
Yes.
I can reserve a lab.
Yes, you can. You can reserve a lab.
Okay.
But then again, how many of you will be coming?
I don't know. So far, I only notice only me that come to the college.
Right. And do you have a computer?
Yes.
Yes. Then why would you want to book a lab then?
Because last semester I have a very bad internet, so sometimes I need to download the offline what what did I use last time? Offline of like Zem, I guess, or like MIT app.
No.
It's too heavy, so I need
Okay. I understand. So, no, personally, this is my opinion, solely my opinion. Okay.
okay.
If you go back to the university and you need to download, I think it's better off to do it on your computer. Bring your computer somewhere accessible to the internet.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, sir.
You don't have to book a lab then.
Even on college, the Wi-Fi is sometimes very slow.
Oh, right.
It's like it doesn't even reach 1 kbps per second.
Right. There are also many other ways, and of course, I don't think it's just that I personally think it's not necessary for you to book a lab only to download. It's not to say that you cannot do that. It's just saying that there are other ways that you can download. Of course, connecting even without coming into the lab, as long as you are within, especially the classroom building. Yeah. If you come to the classroom building, you can still have access to the internet using Wi-Fi. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
All right. But it's not to say that you cannot book a lab. It's just that why even bother? Because you can download outside. But if you are still having problem downloading, then of course you can book a lab, no problem.
Did I need to mention like inform you or I just go there and like download it?
My advice, once you come, are you already in campus?
Yes, I already. Yeah.
Right. My advice, try to go to the academic building.
All right.
And check whether the internet connection is fine or not. From the outside of the classroom, outside of the lab.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, then you may book a lab.
Okay.
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 Otherwise, if you can wait, I may have to go to the campus as well. One of these days, I may have to go there. Then we can sort something out. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Is she coming in? Is she coming in? Mushaira. All right, then for the rest of you, this will be the end of the class for today. I will see you again tomorrow. So you may leave. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, sir.
Waalaikumsalam, sir.
Salam, sir.
Waalaikumsalam.